Before we talk about what killed Pattaya's bar girl era, we have to start with something quieter. The fact that it didn't die in one moment. There was no crash, no single night when the lights went out. If you only visit every few years, it sneaks up on you. One trip, the bars feel a little thinner. A few years later, the faces are older. The energy is flatter. The smiles feel more transactional. You tell yourself it's just a slow night, or you pick the wrong soy. Then one day you realize it's not you that changed hotels. It's the whole ecosystem that changed under your feet. For a long time, men blamed the usual suspects. The economy, the baht, visa rules, cheap flights ending, Western men getting older, or Pattaya isn't like it was in 2005. Some blamed the women. Some blamed the city. Most of us just blamed time. But underneath all that, something else was happening. The entire desire economy that once lived in neon, in bars, go-go's, and beer stools, was quietly migrating somewhere else. The hunting ground our caveman wiring understood was being hollowed out while we were still flying back to the same airport. This film is about that silent collapse, not a moral story, not a nostalgia piece, a case study. Pattaya as the symbol of a deeper shift. What happens when a male brain built for physical marketplaces wakes up in a world where the marketplace has moved to the screen? The bars are just the surface. The real story is why they emptied, and why that era cannot come back. Before everything moved online, Pattaya ran on one rule. Everyone had to be there in person. For men, your chances didn't come from swipes or algorithms. They came from the bar you physically stepped into and the eye contact you made. But for women, the system was even more physical. If she wanted to earn, she couldn't do it from a phone or a condo. She had to walk into a bar, sit on a stool, and make herself visible. Her income depended entirely on showing up. Pattaya worked like a neon marketplace. Every bar was a stall. The profiles were real people, not pictures. Chemistry, connection, and price were negotiated face to face, and that suited our caveman wiring. The male brain reads body language, tone, presence, movement. You could feel interest in real time. You could sense opportunity just by being in the room. That's why the old Pattaya felt alive. It wasn't glamorous. It was physical. Everything depended on right place, right time, for both men and women. It was a level playing field where everyone had to turn up, take a chance, and be present in the moment. This was the old system, the last physical marketplace our ancient wiring truly understood. The bar scene in Pattaya didn't collapse the day smartphones appeared. The real bomb started ticking years earlier, in the glow of internet cafes. In the mid-2000s, internet cafes exploded across Thailand, in cities and in villages. Girls spent hours on Facebook and chat apps, meeting foreign boyfriends and building private income without ever sitting in a bar. That was the first leak. Then, 2008 hit. The global financial crisis cut Western travel and exposed how fragile the bar economy already was. By around 2010, cheap laptops took Facebook mainstream. Many women were running their love lives and earnings online from bedrooms and backrooms, not beer bars. When smartphones finally took over, the cafe moved into their pocket. Chat, money, and clients became 24/7 and completely mobile. The internet cafes started the decline. The smartphone was the atomic bomb that finished it. If you step back from Pattaya for a moment, you see the same pattern everywhere. The internet kills physical marketplaces. Look at any Western high street. Bookshops, travel agents, video rental stores, small banks, record shops. Once they depended on people walking through the door. Then, along came Amazon, online banking, streaming, and flight websites. The customers moved online. The shops didn't stand a chance. Pattaya's bar scene is just another version of that story. For years, both men and women had to show up in person. The soy was the shop front. The bar was the stall. Once desire, attention, and money migrated to apps and private messaging, the same thing happened as on the high street. The footfall dropped, the margins thinned, and the old model became a legacy business. The bars didn't die because men got older or Pattaya got worse. They died because, like every other physical marketplace, the internet quietly took their customers away. If you want proof that the desire economy moved to the smartphone, you only have to look at the rise of online scam centers across Southeast Asia. In Myanmar, Cambodia, Laos, and even parts of Thailand, entire office blocks are now dedicated to online seduction. Not bars, not go-go's, office towers, rows of workers running romance scams, crypto scams, and fake online relationships, pulling in billions without anyone stepping into a nightlife street. It shows something simple but brutal. You no longer need Pattaya to extract money from a foreign man. You just need a screen, a script, and an internet connection. When an entire regional economy can make more money from digital seduction than physical nightlife, it tells you everything. The desire market didn't shrink. It just moved somewhere Pattaya can't compete: the smartphone. After the girlfriend experience moved online, a lot of men tried to follow it. Mix a holiday to Pattaya with a bit of online flirting, a few apps, some chats on the side. In theory, it should be easier than ever. In reality, most older men hit a wall. Online dating is built on an asymmetry. Women get flooded, men get filtered. A normal woman in her 20s can open an app and have hundreds of matches and messages waiting. The algorithm pushes her to the top, shows her the best-looking, highest-status men first, and quietly hides the rest. If you're an older guy, you're at the bottom of that stack. You don't even make it onto most screens. It's not a fair fight. It's software deciding who is visible and who isn't. In the bar, at least you existed. You could walk in, make eye contact, tell a joke, use presence, charm, generosity. Your caveman wiring had something to work with. On a phone, you're reduced to a few photos and a line of text, competing with thousands of men in a silent queue you'll never see. So men sit in condos in Pattaya, scrolling through profiles that never reply, getting more bored and numb by the minute. The women are thriving in the new system. The men are still wired for the old one. That's the digital mismatch. The marketplace moved to a world where women have infinite choice, and most men barely show up at all. If the internet killed the bar girl era, why are there still so many bars in Pattaya? Because what you see now isn't the old system. It's the leftovers. Most of the women on the stools today are the frozen generation. They missed the digital wave, or they don't have the skills, language, youth, or options to move online. The bar isn't their first choice. It's their last resort. The bars themselves are often kept alive by dreamers, owners and investors who remember the glory days, running on sunk cost and hope. They tell themselves one good season, one new market, one more high-spend winter will bring it all back. They're not protecting a thriving business. They're protecting a memory. Then you have Soy 6. It survives because every city has its hardcores. The people who will always negotiate face-to-face, whatever the internet does. Fast turnover, short-time rooms, clear rules, quick cash. It's not the future. It's the last efficient piece of the old machine. And us? Why do we keep returning? Because the male brain is wired to go back to the last place we felt like the man. Desired, important, seen. So we booked the same flights to a city that once matched our wiring, hoping to feel that way again. But the environment has moved on. The magic we're chasing depended on women who are now online, owners who are now broke, and an era that no longer exists. What's left on the street is a mix of veterans, hardcores, and habit. What's left in us is nostalgia. The internet didn't just kill the bar girl era, it killed the version of Pattaya that once made us feel alive. And we're the ones still trying to live there.